Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the virtual Goodwood Revival. We thought it's Revival weekend, so why not do something Revival themed? And so, as such, I have dressed for the part, and we've got a retro historic theme running throughout the course of this evening. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to replicate some of the fantastic races you can find within the Goodwood Revival. We're in Assetto Corsa this evening, and we're going to be doing some fun racing. I'm really looking forward to this. So I hope you're ready for some historic racing action. I certainly am. So yeah, lots going on. We've got pre-war cars, GT cars, prototypes, of course touring cars as well. Some mini action going on. So yeah, sit back and enjoy a very nicely themed stream for this evening. Super exciting. Oh, let's turn the mic down. Hopefully that's not so bad now. How's that? Is that better? Let's turn it down a bit more. How's that? Should be better now. I thought I'd turn it up so you guys could hear me, but obviously it's setting just fine. So, right, well let's get on with the first race, shall we? Super excited for this. We are going to do, first off, the Sterling Moss Trophy. This is something which is one of the most expensive races at the Goodwood Revival. And yeah, so it's got some fancy cars on it, some Cobras, some E-Types, some Aston Martins, some Ferrari 275s. Some Mercedes-Benz 300 SLs and some Porsches as well, so let's see how we get on with this. Alright, hopefully we should all be running okay. How are we all doing anyway? I hope you're all well. This is I have to put my posh voice on for today because you know, being dressed for the occasion. Right, let's put a pause on the light jazz for the evening, and we'll jump straight into the action. So we're in the AC Cobra hardtop. This is the 289 variety of the Cobra. As you can see, we've got various nice cars on the grid with us. We're going to be jumping into all of these races straight off. We're doing 10-lap races around Goodwood, obviously, and we're going to be starting each one from the back and just seeing what happens in true Goodwood style. So here we go. We're up and running with the Cobra. Let's see how we can get off the line here. A bit of a slow start for some of the guys in the midfield. It's a bit quiet now, I have to turn it up. It's 3 wide of Astons going into the first corner here. The Cobra's wild. Here we go, right, up and running into the race. Let's see if we can pick off some of these Astons and kind of choose our power. Just going to close the door to St Mary's. It's a good corner, this one. It just drops away on the exit, and it usually causes you to have a bit of oversteer around the outside of that Aston. Ooh. Cobra's notoriously easy to drive, obviously. Being armed with the opposite block. And once again, we're going to be slightly hampered by our Formula steering wheel here, but never mind, we will persevere. Nowhere to go, coming down towards Woodcote. Just going to have to just sit in behind. Aston's going in deep. Down to the super tight chicane. Make it through either side of the wall, and we've survived lap 1, so up and running we go. Now we need to see if we can make full use of this power down towards turn 1. No, it's going to brake later than I am. Okay. beautiful wooden steering wheel in front of me. I love historic motorsport. It's definitely one of my favourite forms of motorsport. There we go. We've got the Aston into a little kink right. We'll get off after those Jaguars ahead of us. Sideways. That's the great thing about historic cars. You don't drive them straight. There's always throttle and steering inputs going on to try and keep the thing going in the right direction. Anyway, how are we doing, Whippy Whip and Funky? Good to have you with us. Back straight, fastest part of the course, and hard on the brakes. Double apex for woodcut. Clip the last part of it. There we go. I love Goodwood, it's such a fun circuit to drive. We are gaining on the two E-types ahead of us. That's for the Collins High. We're in full Goodwood Revival mode. So we're dressing to impress, because that's what you do for the Goodwood Revival. Everyone gets into period costume, and this is actually the outfit I wore when I went to the Revival a couple of years back. I've got the paddock pass still pinned to my lapel. So, got to get into character for these kind of things. There we go, we're up with these E-types now. Oh, tell you what, it's going to be a warm evening for me, I think. There we go. Inside of this Jag. Only 4 gears to worry about in the Cobra. See, the great thing about historic motorsport is you got cars which can do straight lines like this, and other ones which are better on the brakes. A second for the chicane. Alright, where are we sitting? P5 now. Control. That curve on the inside, big snap of the wheel going through there. Such a fast corner, this one. I'll put on the grass. Ooh, too much correction. We're around. Don't hit me. Fine, hit me. It's an expensive accident. And that was another one. Oh, my poor Cobra. It's one of those moments where you think you've got it, but really you don't. It just goes around. Right, got it all to do again now. Coming through, excuse me. We've still got around 6 laps to try and make some inroads. So tricky to get threaded through there and not run off onto the grass on the outside. Turn 1 once again. So being the 289 engine variant of the Cobra, it's not the quickest of all the Cobras out there, but certainly gets along at a good pace anyway. Third for the first part, big sideways drift all the way through. better run through St Mary's that time. This is the 11th corner, I think. This is the 11th straight. Aston. Alright, Alice is a few seconds ahead, so try and see if we can catch these Jags again. Love this event. Welcome, Jerry Mac. Love this event and missed the start of the stream. Are you racing AI online? We're against the AI for this occasion, purely because there's so many mods involved. I think for anyone trying to join in, it would just be a nightmare because you've got to get so many of them installed. So, but we might well look to do a hosted race using the TC60s cars. So if you're up for that, let us know and we'll get something sorted. But the Goodwood Revival's ace, isn't it, Joey? It's so good. If you've not been to the Revival, I can absolutely recommend it. Even if it's not for the racing, if it's for the other things going on around the circuit, it's such an event. A bit of a traffic jam going up in front here. We might be catching some back markers, and the AI are having problems. There's our Jags. Ah, there's some Mercedes stuck in here as well. This is the other element of the Revival, is because you've got such a variety of cars. Some are significantly slower even if they're in the same race, so looks like the Mercedes are that car in this race. It's a very expensive Mercedes, I don't want to hit that. Ooh, we got a big off. Oh dear. People driving their expensive cars like they're cheap hatchbacks. So after all that chaos, we're still in P5. Ooh, the Mercedes getting in the way. Sneak at the inside. Using the traffic car advantage there. Not surprised driver 3 retired, he probably just absolutely nailed his Jag. St Mary's once again. Stop, down to third, balance it all the way through. Oh, it's just so nicely poised, this thing. Sure, we haven't had a blast yesterday with the AI and the TC Legends. Yeah, we're going to be running those cars later on as well. Don't worry, we'll be putting those to good use. They are such fun cars as well. There we go. Already on lap 8, a couple laps to go. It's close. Setting some purple times in the middle of that lap there, so got some good pace in the car now. So normally the Trophy, also known as the Kinrara Trophy, would run pre-63 GT cars. So the selection we've got going on here might not all sit within that category, but try to get them as close as we possibly could with what's available. Back up with this E-Type as well. I'm going to go around the outside into 11, shall we? No. We cut back on the inside. Just wait for the straight. Pass on the grass. To 4th now. Can we hunt a podium down the last 2 laps of this race? corner turn 1 as well. It's a very fast track in general. It's only really the chicane that's particularly slow. Everything else is reasonably quick. Especially in something like this. We're coming up on another car in front of us here. I think this is one of the lapped traffic Porsches. The 718 Spiders. So hopefully he doesn't get too much in the way. We can go to the inside. Down towards Lavender again. Through the dip. So I think with the way the lap time works, and so of course it's been a while since we've driven a race in the sim, but I'm pretty sure actually we'll have to run lap 10 or 10 as well, so a little one more to go, a couple more Porsches just ahead. So there we go. Oh, we're going to get stuck at the chicane. Using the grass as well. Fuel lights on as well, didn't even check that before we started, but it should be okay to finish this one off, I would have thought. Wheel waving going on. Suddenly up to me, I don't know that happening unless someone's gone off somewhere. Shadows, St. Mary's. Just a gentle drift all the way through. Oh, is this? Oh, it's just another Merc, isn't it? It's a shame. Thought we had a chance at another position, but a bit patient trying to get on the throttle there. Critical on fuel, hopefully we can make it to the last corner. No. Don't know why I'm changing gear, it's not making any difference. Gotta roll to the line. Don't touch the brakes. Oh no. Come on, keep rolling. It's all gone very, very quiet. Fuel tanks in Cobras must be extremely small. Come on. Come on. We're not far off. Can hear cars coming, there's one behind me. Just made it in front of that other jack. Well, that was a bit tight, wasn't it? Oh, goodness. Right. Okay. So, first race of the evening done. How's the volume? Do you want me to turn up a little bit more? I can do that. Let's check on the old levels here. Let's try that. That should be a bit better there. Yeah, dress for the occasion. Of course, you got to, haven't you? You got to dress for the occasion. This is serious revival stuff going on. How are we doing? Good to have you with us, guys. Right, so that's the first race of the evening done. We've already ticked off the Stirling Moss Trophy. So next one up is what's next? Shall we do? Maybe we should do some. Got them all written down in my book of power over here. Okay, so I think next one on the actual calendar for the event was the Festival of Britain, so we'll do that one. This one has also been renamed, but this is something a little bit different. We're into very early single-seaters. This is 20s now. Is that volume better? Good. Thanks Funky. Thanks for letting me know. Right, so we're going to be running the ERA Type B. Also in this race we've got Alfa Romeo 12Cs, Tipo B Monopostos, and Talbot Lago T26Cs. So probably most of those you might not know, but the ERA you probably wouldn't recognise. If you're a fan of historic motorsport. You probably will recognise this car in a moment when it comes up. Look at this beautiful Alpha GTA in front of us. Thought we'd get some proper music in for you guys, just to give it a good, good feel, good vibe. You see the Sterling, you know what? I actually been so busy doing other things, I haven't actually seen much of it. But the minis looked awesome from what I can tell. So I'm going to have to go back and rewatch them. I watched them on the qualifying day, but yeah, need to go back and review it all. Right, we'll come back to that in a moment because we're in Remus, the Type B ERA. This is a very special car. And once again we're going to be at the back of the grid. So here we are. Look at that nice line steering wheel in front of us. Big 3-spoke steering wheel. We're at the back. Here we go. Try and pick our way through these slow starting single-seaters. Now, the cool thing about these particular ERAs, well, it's cool for the onlooker, maybe not so much for the driver, is the fact that the supercharger is right between your legs. So, hopefully that holds together. If not, it's a quick trip to A&E. It's all getting a bit congested on the run down to St Mary's on the first time. Sorry, didn't mean to push you off. And once again, very long gearing in these early cars. And very narrow tyres as well, makes for some very low grip situations. Okay, picked off a couple of cars. We've got this another Talbot just in front of us. Big slap of force feedback as we touch wheels there, maybe. Got the inside of this Alfa Ferrari on the left. There we go, got him. John had a great battle with Martin Brundle. Oh, okay, nice. What, in the minis? Or, oh, the Sterling Moss Trophy, yeah, probably the Sterling Moss. To 4th gear we go. Oh, there goes the Alfa Ferrari. Big power, obviously. And no brakes. Yes, exactly. Very bad brakes. So I'll have to get used to that. Oh, we got more carnage at the chicane. Don't hit him. I didn't have much choice. Couldn't get the thing stopped. Well, the advantage of being in a sim, obviously, is we didn't get thrown out there like we would have done if we were in the actual car. So P2 in the end. Oh, that's good. That's a good result. There we go. Right, well, we're up and running. We're in 11th now. Let's see if we can make any more progress. Now, this particular car that we're driving, obviously, I mentioned it's named Remus, and it's actually driven by a Thai driver, Prince Bira, very successfully as well in all sorts of events around the world. And this car, I think, ended up going back to Siam at the time. I think it's... Oh, no, it still comes out every now and again for things like the Festival of Speed, and I think it does still, on occasion, race at the Revival. I think that's another one of the E-type, so the B-type ERAs in front of us, isn't it? I think it is. So we go wheel to wheel with them. Down towards Woodcote once again. Oh, don't touch the grass. Oh, he's going to force me off. The AI having problems with the chicane. You don't think the AI... Yeah, going by that last experience, Frankie, I don't think they can tell there's a barrier there either. Now, we didn't check fuel again, so who knows if we'll actually make it through 10 laps. Probably not. There's some understeer from when he knocked the splitter off. Yeah, no downforce now, is there? So you've got Assetto Corsa, Steve, on PC. So the Goodwood Revival, it isn't actually a set Revival DLC as such. But you can download the track, and I've downloaded many mods to make this happen. Some of them are Kunos official cars, so cars that you get in Assetto Corsa normally anyway. Can't believe I managed to survive that without getting destroyed by another car. But yeah, there's quite a few mods which I've had to download in order to put this together. So that's the reason why we didn't do this initially as an actual online hosted event for people to come and join, just because getting all the mods to join the races is just going to be a nightmare. But we'll probably look to do some individual races in the future, just keep it simple. So we might do a 60s touring car race coming up very soon. Snap of force feedback, changing down to third. Turn. Got to use the rear end more. Right, into the chicane. This time, no AI to collect. We'll suddenly find ourselves in a whole heap of space with not much going on around us. We're in P9, so we've broken into the top 10. There we go, down to, I think it's Madrick corner, the first corner. All the names are coming back to me eventually. It sounds, because of the engine sounds of the car, it sounds like it's just going to die on me, but it's not. It's just the sounds. Could do with a bit of a tune-up. Running a bit rough. Right, we've got some battling going on ahead of us here, so let's see if we can get involved. Coming through. One of these times I will make it through for St Mary's. What's this? Blue flags? Who's trying to get past me here? We've got someone who's ridiculously quick. Because I've got so many modded cars in here, I've kind of thrown them together thinking that they're going to be quite similar paced, but clearly not by the fact that I'm getting lapped on lap 5. Because usually the ERAs are front of the grid in this particular race. There he goes, look. Wow, that's a big old pace difference, isn't it? Take a second, just make sure we get through here. But again, this really suits my view of sim racing, and the fact that it doesn't really matter where you finish, because obviously you've got different types of car going on, and in some cases it's literally just impossible to win. And you just end up finishing where you finish, and you have a battle with who you're going to have battles with, and it's fun all the same anyway. So you can't get Mod Manager to work with Linux. Oh no. We'll apply to the rest of that once I've negotiated Madrick. It's possible, but you get frustrated with it. Oh, okay, so it's just a bit fiddly, is it? Something going on in the background which it doesn't like. Do you use Race Department to download mods? Yes, in general, I do. Where possible, I'll download everything I can from Race Department. There's a few mods on here which have been downloaded from elsewhere. Please make sure we get through here this time, that's better. But yeah, there's quite a few out there which are available. I know there's some... Oh, that was rude. I know there's some not so kosher websites out there where you can download things which have been written from other sources, and I've tried not to use those where possible. In fact, I try not to use them at all, just so we actually make sure we're getting proper content here. Oh, down to second with star revs. So I think that's I'm not sure which. It's probably one of the alphas that's just massively quicker than everything else. coming through and just knocking everybody off. We've got yellow flags ahead. It's probably done the dirty on someone else in front of us as well. I can't leave with a third for Woodcut this time. Turn in. Thankfully there's a nice curb on the outside to catch me. It's already well, we're not going to finish the race because we've been lapped in terms of the full distance, so we're going to have at least one lap less. We are catching other cars in front of us here, so there's a bit of a speed differential with the cars on track. But with this ERA, I know the sound's a little bit odd, but in general, it's actually quite reasonable to drive. Force feedback's pretty good. It's definitely telling me when there's bumps on the road, because I'm getting quite a bit of feedback from that. Just about held onto the tarmac. Okay, now what I would like to know is if this is for position in front of us here. It looks like it might be. Maybe. Well, we certainly caught him up quite quickly, so it might be another back marker, but who knows? We'll find out. You can drop them in manually, sorry, got my words out. You can drop cars and tracks in manually, yes, definitely. You have to load them up in WinRAR or some similar unzipping software, and then just simply drop them into the correct location, so it'd be under Steam games and then content and cars and... Oh dear, I think I just... Oh no, I'm still going. I thought I just broke the gearbox. So just missed a shift and it wasn't happening. But yeah, you just drop it into the correct folder and it'll show up in game, so it's quite straightforward to do. So after that little setback down the front straight where we had no power for a moment, see if we can gain some time back on this car head. Oh, here we go. Fuel lights on again. No, that means I need to pay more attention, don't I? Need to just put some fuel on at the start of the race, huh? Can't get away with it all the time. Yeah, that probably would work better for you than using that way rather than Content Manager. Oh dear. I think my gearbox is fully gone now. Oh well, that's a retirement. That's historic racing for you. I've just killed the ERA. Well, we did take a massive whack at the beginning of the race, so I'm not surprised really. It's just how it goes. Right, so that's the that was the Festival of Britain race. Right, what do we say then? We'll pick up the pace a little bit, or change tack just slightly. We're going to go and try out the Sussex Trophy. So some more finery of sports car heritage in this particular race, namely Jaguar C-Types, D-Types, XK120s, Aston Martin DBR1s, Maserati 450S, which is what we'll be driving, Lotus 11s, Triumph TR3Bs, Maserati bird cages. So yeah, some good cars coming up in this one. So load in for the next race. Well, that was a very authentic experience, having a DNF because of a mechanical. I need to be more careful with the gearbox in these old cars, obviously. Need to treat them with a bit more mechanical sympathy. not getting your chat coming up on here. There we go, it's better, I can see now. Right. Yeah, content manager is probably what you would have struggled with. Here we go then. So let's just quieten the jazz for a moment, and here we go. Let's before we go anywhere, let's put some fuel in, shall we? 45 litres. Who knows how much I need? Let's put plenty in. Put 107 litres in. 110 litres. That should be absolutely fine. Are you sweating with the jacket in time? Not yet. But the night is young, so who knows? Here we go then. This beautiful Maserati 450S. Good mixture of cars on the grid for this one. Again, probably going to be quite a variety of paces. Oh. It's a start line accident. Can't control his Maserati. We'll try that again, shall we? Just trying to avoid all these slow starting cars in front of us. Here we go. Let's try this again. Oh, crunch. Get on it. Little TVR. Sorry, Triumph. Lotus 11 in front of us there. Oh, big difference in power between these cars. It's a bit slippy slidey, this thing though. Ooh, don't go off there. Okay, so we're up and running. Cool, this thing's fast. And very vague on the front end. Just going to try and figure out where I've got to brake. For St Mary's this time round. There's Aston Martin in front of us here, very expensive car. Don't want to crease that one. No! Please avoid me, everybody, if you could. That'd be amazing. Go on. Just spin around to the grass. Oh no! We've got some work to do now. And we've also got to get used to this thing, which is a little bit mad. There's no grip. Okay. We're just going to have to be super careful through the corners, I think. There's no mad balancing like we had in the Cobra. Just going to take it nice and gentle. Brakes a little bit on the soft side. Oh dear we. Let's just somehow keep that going. Right. Thread it through the chicane gently. Here we go. Oh, it's so quick. Okay, this is going to be a long 10 laps. Even though we didn't quite start from pit lane, we've still got the getting through the field. I was going to say we're trying to harness my inner Phil Keen. But that's not what Phil would do. Oh, come on. Oh, the grass is slippy. Let's go. The Earl of March is going to be calling me in anytime soon for messing up his grass. Right. Let's keep it on the black stuff, shall we? If we can. If it's all possible. Maybe I should have gone with one of the Triumph TR3As. Might have been able to handle that. Okay. That one didn't work out very well. Restart page. Yeah, I might... Alright, what we're going to do. We are going to shake this up a little bit. We're going to jump in the... because that thing's just mad. I've not driven that before, so that was just a bit of a wild start. So we're going to grab Too Rory on the pedal, yeah, I was. Too Rory keen. So we're going to jump in a different car here. Oh, I love this shot of the Alpha over the curbs here. Lifting the inside wheel as it should do. So awesome. Right, we're going to try... I selected a Jaguar D-Type. There we go, it's on the screen. Let's see if this one handles any nicer than the Maserati. That thing's just absolutely berserk. Okay, let's get you guys back on the screen. There we go, right. This time, D-Type from the back of the grid. Straight 6 Jaguar goodness. Let's get that birdcage ahead of us. Oh, big force feedback going on here. Ah, stop. It's going to shake my desk apart. Let's turn that right down. I'll have to restart that again. Sorry about this, everybody. Teething issues. No, that'll have to work. Bit of a late starter. Right. What that does mean is we can put in a bit more fuel as well, just to make sure we actually... Yeah, see, 20 litres is not going to get us to the end, is it? 58 in. Should be more than enough. No, don't want to start from pit lane. Restart. Okay, let's try this again. Take 3 for the... whatever this one's called. I forgot what it's called now. The Sussex Trophy, I think it is. Here we go. They don't seem to get off the line very well at Goodwood, the AI. Okay, we're up and running, and so far, avoid that one. Okay, there goes one of those mad Maseratis, let him go. We're going to keep up with him in a straight line anyway, maybe through the corners. Lotus 11. Climax engine in it. Not very quick in a straight line, but supreme through the corners. Okay, turn. There we go. We're up and running. Big steering inputs going on here as well, just to get this thing to move. Now the D-Type obviously is a very successful endurance racer, especially at Le Mans. The big dorsal fin down the back behind the drive to help with aerodynamics when they started playing around with that kind of witchcraft. But many great drivers have driven these Jaguars, Mike Hawthorne being one of them. A couple of triumphs ahead of us as we go through the chicane. Go off the chicane. Right. So where are we after all that mayhem at the first lap? Somehow up to 7th. So we're locking a brake on the inside to Madrick. Keep that power going. Got another Maserati giving us a terrible time behind us. You can just see in the mirror, he's just right there. We'll block him off into the inside. Oh, no, he's just going to go for it anyway. You go that way, I'll go this way. So this D-Type actually has just the bulge behind the driver. It doesn't have the dorsal fin as such. And there's a couple of different variants of the D-Type as well. There's a short nose and a long nose one. They introduced the long nose one, which was only about 50 centimeters longer on the front, but again, in aid of aerodynamics. I'm not quite sure what kind of witchcraft that Mazda has. Yeah, it's just brute power. Just chronic understeer in the Jag at the moment. Make sure we get it stopped for the chicane. Oop, that's the curb. No, not curb, the wall. The TR's got me again, except he's looking like he's not destined for this world very much longer. Smoke pouring out the back. It almost feels like the front end's just way too dominant on this car. It should be a little bit more leery on the rear. It's just pushing like mad. Just about held on again on the white line on the exit. Like your wheel didn't get the memo about the authentic dress code. Yeah, no one told this. Welcome, by the way, Dr. Frederick, I think that is. Good to have you with us. Thanks for joining our virtual revival. Yeah, maybe I should have got a wooden steering wheel to match, huh? The form of the rim doesn't quite cut it for these kind of cars. Far too many buttons and also far too many lights for this kind of era. No, no, no. Let's turn. The grass, get back on again, there we go. Right. So where are we? We're actually in 4th somehow. Car 6 retired, that's probably another Maserati accident going on somewhere. Some of these cars which don't have the grip, you actually have to either lift or apply a dab of brakes for that little right-hand kink there, and I obviously didn't that time through, so I need to be wary of that. Chuck it into the left, try and get some movement going. There we go. Down to first gear for Lavance. I do like the mirror, which is kind of shielded on the inside there. It's got a little bit of a cover over the front of it to kind of help the airflow over the middle of it. Very cool. Almost looks like a TV screen. Get that curve on the inside. Right, this time we're going to miss the wall. Some traffic building up behind us actually. Oops, someone coming out the pit lane. I will trouble the apex at some point through Magic, I think. I'll try my best. It's getting so enthusiastic with the power down the straight. I think I have to brake for the corner. Right, this time, a little bit of a dab of brakes just to make sure we attempt to stay on the tarmac. Barely managed to do so. Okay, second gear early. Almost ran out of road once again. Okay, that's a little bit better that time. So even though there seems to be chronic understeer going on, at least I got a bit of oversteer that time, which is good. Just need to be a bit more aggressive with the steering wheel maybe. Even though there's lots of understeer going on, the car's still requiring a fair bit of input just to keep it going around the lap, so that's how a historic car should be. Missed the first part of woodcut and then hopefully get the second, but didn't manage that either. So these particular era of cars aren't exactly the easiest of things to drive, but still good fun to wrestle around and manhandle. Again, get it stopped. At least it opens up the last part of the first corner there. I can actually keep it pinned all the way through there. Get turned in nice and early for the kink. Oh, just about. Traffic coming through, or someone trying to make a move. There's a C-type behind me actually. Try and keep him there if we can. That may have been the car that came out of the pits actually just in front of us and we came across the line that time. Technically the C-Type shouldn't be as quick as the D-Type because the D-Type is the follow-on car for it. It's a bit better through there that time. I love it through there. When you get it right, it just kind of flicks through and you can feel the forces load up as you go through the right-hander, and then you can just fire it over to the left and time it right and just miss the wall. It's very satisfying. Bit of a tighter line this time into Madrick, that's better. I believe they put a bridge over there for this year, which I wasn't quite sure about, because the wonderful thing about Goodwood is the fact that they've managed to keep the circuit in the same condition pretty much as it was when it closed in the 60s. So putting a bridge in there is kind of contradictory to that, but we'll have to see. Here goes the C-Type sparking its way through there, very uncharacteristically. The C-Type's rapid by the looks of things. Had to apply a bit of opposite lock for a change. And then no, that's not the kind of opposite lock I wanted. Why do I do that? Why do I become my own worst enemy? And somehow we were running in P3, so we now have company behind as well after our little off. And obviously in normal circumstances that would be game over. Well, that's enthusiastic. It's a brave move up the inside into Woodcut. Almost caught a C-Type in my lap. It's all getting a little bit feisty towards the end of this race. People are desperate for some good positions, obviously. Still got a couple of laps to go. It's a long race this one, even though it's the same length. Well, that doesn't make sense, but it feels much longer than the others. I know we had to restart it twice. Derek Bell retired. That's probably who threw it at the inside of me in the last second to last corner. Yeah, I thought Max was driving. Yeah. Where's my halo? That's what I need. Yellow flags ahead. Someone's still stranded here. Ooh. Oh look, dead Maserati. That's a familiar sight. Don't blame him. I can't judge him whatsoever. There's possibly some leftovers from our moment through there last time around, maybe. Oh goodness. I'm still not learning that first corner, am I? But what I also love about the Goodwood Revival is they put on some tractors for the spectators, so you can kind of jump on these trailers and they take you all around the circuit and you can hop on and off as you go just to explore all the other areas of the track, which is good. That's not good though. Let's take the inside line. DVR1's got past us. Bit of a rate of attrition this one, there's a few people dropping out. So all those little Mazda mishaps. Okay, come on, let's go back to this Aston Martin. Beautiful shape, the Aston Martin DVR1. Very sleek. Even if he does try and hip and shoulder you. He's on the final lap, so we've got one more to go. And leave him first, so we can get through the chicane. See if we can get a run at this Aston down towards turn 1, but try and not outbrake ourselves for the 10th time in this 10-lap race. We've got a bit of a run, see if we can get the inside. No, it's got a bit more power than we do. A bit braver through there, it's still there. Keeps the inside for St Mary's. Harrow says he's still there. Fair dues, keeping it around the outside. Bit of a nudge. Right, can we make a move? We have these. Backed out of that one. Now we just need to keep it clean for the last part of the lap. Scrape. Try my best to throw it away at the last corner for everyone. And there we go. It's a podium in our little D-type, despite our off. Ah dear. Well, that was mad. Okay. Whew, right, well we're... how many races down now? We've done 4 races now, is it? So... I think it's time for probably one of the most popular races in recent years of the Goodwood Revival. And we're going to jump into the John Whitmore Trophy. Now, those of you who've been watching over the weekend so far will probably have come across this. We are all in minis, so we're gonna have some mini action going on now. And so here we go. There's our Mark II Jag throwing it through St Mary's. Very cool. So I'll just cross off my list which ones we've done, because done the Stirling Moss Trophy, done the Festival of Britain, we've done... well, we're now doing the John Whitmore one, we've done the Sussex Trophy. Yeah, still a few more races to go, but some good ones still in the works too. So, looking forward to trying out some more cars and seeing if we can keep it on track. So far, the temperature's not too bad. It'll probably get there towards the end once this light fully warms up. Okay. So here we are. We're in our Mini. Let's do the usual and add some fuel to our tank. Here we go. It's Mini time. Look at this grid full of Minis. That's what we want. Let's see if they're going to get off the line this time. Probably not. Too bad I'm going to split the gap. And maybe that one. No. AI said no. I'm going to close the door on the inside to there, that's fine. So the little Mini, small as it is, can produce some excellent racing, so let's see if we can do some of that now. Cars all over the track in front of us. We've only got 4 gears to play with. Yep. Try not to be too early on the downshift. Punted already. Come on, little Mini. Let's go. So we're currently sitting apparently in P20, but I think that's changed because we were last at P20, so that'll probably update at some point when we go over the line. On the rev limiter down the back straight. Gotta figure out how late we can brake into these corners with this thing. Okay, so we're a bit quicker through the chicane there. Gonna run on the front straights. This is going to be a bit more of a race. I think everyone's a bit more evenly matched. I'm just leaving it 4th for the first corner by the looks of things. Doesn't like going down to 3rd there. Mirror wobbling away on the right side. Gear ratios are not set up for Goodwood, obviously. Right, first part of it. Get it chucked in. There we go. Got to overlap a little bit. On the outside. Keep the power on. So we're currently sitting P14, probably 13 now we've got that one done. It's painful sitting on the limiter this long. See how long the car lasts. Cars wobbling around everywhere. Pretty even Steven so far, not making too much headway to the guys ahead, but not losing track either, so that's the main thing. Hold on to it. Get back on track. Right. So what was I talking about, not losing ground? Brave now, try and make up the time difference. So we've had not too many gear changes in the Mini. It's mostly 4th gear and then the occasional 3rd, just to remind you that the gear stick is still there. Reeling them in ever so slightly, backing into the chicane. do love the speedometer in the middle of the dashboard on the Mini. It's very cool. Alright, this time maybe not quite so quick through turn 1. It's better. Setting some purple sectors on our way through on this lap. Need to get back into some action up ahead of us here, so we're going to have a bit of a race with these guys. Right. That brakes the first part of St Mary's. Okay, now we're back up with them. Let's give this guy some hassle. I will admit things are warming up now. It's going to be one hot mess by the end of this, I think. Let's give him his toe. Come on, pull me along. Easy braking. Oh, it's late. Grass again. It's a good thing about being able to follow him that closely. We can at least keep an eye on his braking points so we can try and copy them. The thing is shaking its head everywhere. So we're kind of stalled out in 14th now. We've got to try and see if we can move up. The thing with these minis, if you do end up losing a lot of time, you really are on the back foot because you just can't make it back up again. Double brakes. Brave. There we go. Now we're on him. Let's go for it up the inside here, shall we, if we can. We're up on the way through. We made a place! Yes! Let's go after them. Let's go get these next ones. We know where to brake now for some of these corners, so let's make some time back. Our little A-series engine will actually survive this. Got a roller. Oop. Oh, we had no chance of rescuing that. I'm gonna go this way. Yeah, I'll take the slow down penalty. Oh. Disqualified. Oh no. Well, that would have been a DNF anyway because of the big accident. Okay, what we're gonna do? There's a Mini sunken in the pits there. What we're gonna do, because I think the Minis can provide some good racing, so we're gonna go back and do this again, but we're gonna shorten the race distance to 5, and I might just see if I can tweak the gear ratios as well to try and make it a bit more interesting, if we can. It's a shame, we were kind of having a bit of a good race there, and then all of a sudden the AI gets a little too excited going into the chicane, and then yeah, there's minis flying everywhere. Oh well, try it again. For a shorter 5-lap sprint this time. I don't know if we can actually change the gear ratios on this, we'll have to see. The daffodils on the inside as we look over to the GTA. Just loading the cars in now. But I always remember watching minis at Dorrington Park when you go down the bottom of the Corona curves towards the old hairpin, and you used to see them chuck it in there with no brake lights because just didn't need it. It just scrub off the speed. That was always entertaining to watch. Right, let's do this again. We're going to keep our... There we go. Oop. Gear 4 is now geared for 200 kilometers an hour, apparently. So, that should work. So, before we do that, I'll get my chat back up, because it disappears every time we go out and back in again. There we go, that's better. I can see you guys now. Right, here we go. Split those two. Split those ones. And then. So, if the last race was frantic, we've only got 5 laps to do it all in now, so it's going to be even more mad. Fourth gear just bogs down now, but it should give us a bit more top end. It's really a bit unfair actually. It's going to cruise past all these guys who are on the limiter. Even then, we still can't get down to the 3rd gear. St. Mary's. There we go. It's all getting frantic now. It's had a bit of a hop on the curb on the inside. We'll see if we can cut back on the inside. Still there. We're just about cleared him now. Arrow says we're past. Gears right. Right, first lap in the books. It's a bit more controlled through Magic this time. Our unfair power boosts to get past these other minis. Let's use the grass as well while we're here, why not? Does it stop the pro drivers doing that? Side of it. So they got more kind of acceleration off the corner, but then as soon as we get towards the top end, it's just cruise past them. Choppy into the woodcut that time. No, not second gear, that's too much of a gear change there. Oh, I think CPU overloads going on. Okay. Come out of that, that's an unfair win anyway if it's going to be the case. Ah dear, right. Should we let's have a bit of music. Right, so that's the minis. Ended not quite like we expected it to. Where are we? Yeah. Okay, I think some more single-seater action, maybe. Let's what are we going to do now? We're going to do the Chichester Cup, which is the Formula Juniors. Now this is all going to be single class, unfortunately, because there's not many Formula Juniors in Assetto Corsa. So we're going to be running the same car. It's a front-engined Formula Junior car, and again, narrow cross-ply tyres, Oh, there's the Daytona Cobra. We might be getting into that at some point very soon. Bit of fun. So, Formula Junior usually gives really good racing in real life. It's usually pretty close and well thought out. I mean, obviously, in real life you've got front engine and mid-engined layout cars, so it's quite a few variations on the Formula Junior theme, but they all run pretty closely together, so should be a good race. And again, it's a single class one for us here on Assetto Corsa, so should be a close race. Let's just drop off our jazz. We don't need that again. Right, and fuel. Let's up that because we can. Right. Here we go, ready for the lights out. And we're away. Come on, let's get the foot down. Nope. Yellow flags already. Not always easy getting through these cars. Okay, so we've got a bit of a flyer of the start. Oh no! Didn't want to go down to third gear there. Keep it straight, keep it straight, keep it straight. No! That wasn't the kind of keep it straight I was expecting. Okay, now we're in the back again. So, got work to do once more. But this little Formula Junior is actually quite nicely modelled as well. It's got a nice steering wheel, nice cockpit to it. It all looks quite nicely done. Just need to get my gear changes sorted. But at least we have an opportunity now to attempt to get used to the car. Get someone off. Someone's already come a cropper at the chicane. So what's this like through the fast stuff? A little bit slippy and slidey, but that's okay. I can manage that. We're nearly. Ooh, this was a bit of a wild moment there as well. I think that's 7 seconds back from the guy ahead, so we've got some time to make up. Some yellow flags might help us with that. I damaged the gearbox again. Oh dear, broken it. Oh dear me. This isn't going well now, is it? We're falling apart, breaking all these cars. Let's do that again with 5 laps to drive. Ah dear. The frailties of historic race cars, huh? And my lack of sympathy for the gearbox. I think that's what we're going to be doing next. Actually, we might. Well, we do. I think we've got two more races we're going to do. So we've got the RAC TT Celebration, obviously, which runs the big GT cars, and then we will finish off with some touring car action like this. So that should be fun. Okie dokie, let's go again, shall we? Let's get you guys back. There we go. Another gearbox I've ruined. Yeah, you're right. It's just... Here we go. Be more careful. Now I just need to be a little bit more gentle through the quick stuff and avoid cars weaving in front of you like a madman. Right. I'm not going to send it 3 wide, that would just be ludicrous. Just going to leave it in 1 gear and see if we can finish the race. Down the 11th straight we go once again. Let's try and rev match better at the end of the straight this time. Big curb. Didn't really like that, did it? Okay. I'm sure I didn't hit that then. Must have been a bit too close. These sticky out wheels, that's the issue. But you should be able to see them better, so you shouldn't hit walls like that. Give you an all newfound respect for the Fusco. Yeah, you're right. 100%. Come back, Fusco. All is forgiven. You're not as bad as a Maserati 450S. Right, damn it, brakes. First bottom. Same areas. It's try and focus and get some lap speed in this little thing with our front end damage. Currently racing lines have just apparently all gone out the window. Focus has switched to survival. We've only got 3 more laps to survive. Who knows, we may pick off some more crashes at the chicane. Oh, come on. I wouldn't mind being super careful with the gearbox, but it's just completely gone. So there we go. It's another race ended in retirement. Oh well. Such is life. Right, RAC TT it is. Let's bring out the big guns then. We're going to be driving for this one. We're going to be driving. What are we going to be driving? Yeah, we're going to jump in the Daytona Cobra. So this race we've got Ferrari 250 GTOs, TVR Griffiths, Jaguar E-Type Lightweight, Shelby Cobras, Daytona Cobras obviously, Healy 3000s, the big Healys, Alpha Julia TZs, and we've put in a couple of hardtop Cobras in here as well, just to keep up the variety. But it's a bit of a blurry image, that one didn't work out so well. But yeah, so looking forward to driving this Daytona Cobra. Last time I drove it was It was a bit of a beast to drive, so looking forward to giving this one another go. Sack the mechanics, yeah. Sack the driver. Oh goodness. I'll just check because I'm pretty sure the camera moved partway through that, so I'm just going to re-stick that down so we're not all over the place. All these big impacts with walls and things. Right, okay, we should be in now. Here we go. It's big GT time. Yeah, we better check fuel as well, hadn't we? Let's put it right up. There we go. Big thirsty V8 under the bonnet. Look at this grid. Some fabulous air in here. There we go. Everyone continues to die on the line. Right, so hopefully we're going to have a bit more of a civilised race this time. Big V8s battling it out. Quite tentative and cautious in the early part of this race. Beautiful 250 GCO, don't want to hit that. Out the inside. Gotta remember not to go too mad with the downshifts because that's obviously what's killing our gearbox. It's the power of the V8. And 4 gears, Phil. Even in third for Woodcote, I think, just to be on the safe side. Jag getting into the wall. Driving these very expensive GT cars like they are Dodgems. Definitely a dab of brakes into the right hander now. All this pace we've got going on. Lock the brakes, don't want to slide into the back of that Ferrari. Okay, well we suddenly ended up right at the front of the field for very little effort really. Yeah, I are on 100 as well I believe, so alright. The challenge now is keeping it on track because we know what I'm like. Only 4 gears. That's the other thing, is keeping it going to the end of the race without destroying the gearbox. Sound from this V8. Sounds awesome. Sound good, right. Brakes back on the power again. Remains to be seen if we end up getting some lappery going on as well, so we'll keep pressing on and see if we catch any other cars in this one. So far so good for the gearbox. Just keep it in fourth now. Yeah, don't bother shifting down. Oops. Such a good car, this really is. Built to take on the might of Ferrari as most cars were at the time. Moving fourth for the first part there, and then down to third. There's a few more Daytona Cobras appearing in real-world historic motorsport at the moment, but most of them are recreations. Very few genuine cars out there. I think there's only 4 genuine Daytona Cobras ever built, I believe, so plenty of replicas out there. Even so, it's good to see them on track racing against the comparable cars. They've all been built to really high standards as well. I know Jordan's race team have built a couple of Cobras which are just immaculate. Getting into the swing of it a little bit more now, more used to it. Got away with just a lift that time. On the outside of that corner when I was at Goodwood watching the Cortinas and the Alphas and touring cars going through there, and they were really just absolutely on it. Missed that one. Drivers retiring, there must be some chaos going on back there. Avoid the wall, it was close. It's been a very lonely race, this one. There's not been many people around. This feeling it just bouncing its way through the corner there. Very nice indeed. Leaving for third for Lavant, I think. Here's the torque of the big V8. Can't be too far off catching some of the cars now, I would have thought. It's pretty much the limit on braking into there. building. Just use that grass there, don't mind if I do. That's the great thing about historic racing as well, is no two laps are the same. You end up with different lines just purely because the car does different things. Just got to make do with what you've got, so it's always an experience driving historic cars around track. Okay, now we've definitely got some cars up ahead of us here, so making some lapping. Oh, I honestly thought I was going to smash into that barrier then, but we didn't. Looks like we've got one of the Alpha TZs up ahead now. Always going to be the slower of the cars, but as we said earlier, it's the nature of Goodwood. You're always going to get a big difference in speed between cars in the race, especially in the races like this. Clear him as safely as possible. Floating off the track. In those situations, it's easy to panic and slam the brakes on, or try and put too much throttle on and drive out of it, but you just gotta lift off ever so slightly and just be super gentle with all your inputs. Alpha. Just caught him at the wrong point of the track. Oh, there's the wall. It's just like he's standing still. At least my gearbox is in one piece. Yeah, you're right, guys. Absolutely. I'm very thankful for that. Taking a little bit more this time around, but I think some of those cars are just super sensitive to gearbox issues. Got a big Healy in front of us, a 3000. Running a Jaguar straight 6 engine in that thing. In one piece. And yeah, penultimate lap. A couple more cars we're going to have to negotiate coming up. Go. Shoot full of throttle out of the chicane that's around. He's battling. Final lap coming up. Get on with it. New flags. I know you're having your own battle anyway, so we'll leave you to it. A close one. Got through it. Okay, just a couple more corners and then we can be home free. Not going out of fuel. No I'm going to blow the gearbox, hopefully. Roll over the line for what was actually a very straightforward win in the Daytona Cobra. There we go. We actually managed to finish a race, guys. What's going on? What's happening? Okay. So we beat the E-types, and there's another Daytona Cobra in third in that one. So, yeah, we're going to do what's probably the highlight of the Goodwood Revival for a lot of people, myself included. Just going to turn the opponent's strength up for this one. And that is the St Mary's Trophy. Now this is normally run over two parts. So you'd have the pro drivers in one race, and then you would have the owners of the car in the other race. But we're just going to do it in one race because we don't have an owner or a pro driver. So we kind of just make do with what we've got, which is me. So yeah, we're going to have something going on like this. We'll have big Ford Fairlanes and Mustangs against little Minis, Hillman Imps, Cortinas, Alphas. Proper racing. And this is one of those races where you get big V8 powering off down the straights, and then the slower but more nimble cars will come back to them in the corners and make things interesting. And Goodwood was quite a good circuit for that because you actually get a bit of both worlds. So although it's reasonably fast, you still have a lot of corners to negotiate, which some of the bigger cars really do struggle with. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a good race, because we started off with a good race with the Cobra, and then things kind of fell away a little bit. So hopefully this one's going to be a good one. Let's just shoot the pianist. There you go. And right, so let's put some fuel in. 47 litres should be way sufficient for what we need. 60s vintage tyres, of course. And here we are at the back in our little Lotus Cortina. 10 laps of Goodwood for the St Mary's Trophy. Starting now. And everyone's just being super careful off the line, but I can't go anywhere because we've got big V8s in front of me. And the race finally gets underway as everyone decides, hang on, I can put the power down. The big Fairlane getting all rough on the inside into Madrick. And we've got brake lights on because there's cars going all over the place. Nice to avoid it. Now the Lotus Cortina is probably my all-time favourite race car of all generations. I think it looks really elegant and simple, even though it's a fairly straightforward little car. It's got a lovely shape to it, and the handling of it is just sublime. So let's try and rough up some of these big American V8s. Fairlane sounds good next to us. So there's no point getting too much of an overlap on the exit there, because he'll probably come flying past us in a moment. And he's staying back there, which is good for us. We're in 4 gears again. Come on, Mustang, let's go. A bit of a hurry up there. Right, come on. We've got this Alpha in front trying to hold off the Mustang, but he's going to go for it the inside anyway. Alpha. Is he going to pull away in time for us to tuck back in again behind? He's slamming the brakes on. We don't really need the brakes through that. Checking it into St Mary's. There we go. Just getting on the outside, we're going to get bumped into by the Alpha. A gaggle of minis ahead as well. Let's see if we can catch up with them. Lotus twin cam engine in this little Cortina, revving to death. And the Mustang right up behind us again now, even though we got past those Alphas, he's now hunting us down as well. Managed to pull a bit of a gap through him through the first corner there, but he's kind of pulled that back in, no problem. We can take that little right-hander flat out. Let's try our engine's dislike. Okay, we're up with the minis. Close the door on me. You can't keep me back with my slightly quicker engine. Okay, a bit more of a closer race going on here. We're currently sitting 12th. Try and clear these minis and make a move towards the top 10 if we can. Novice that one, got to stay clear of him. Should have one on the back of mine really, shouldn't I? Too late on the brakes. Let's see. Where's my novice cross? It's touring car racing. Doesn't mean you have to smash into everyone. Oh, don't hit me. That's when you thought you'd saved it. Ah dear, it's getting away from me. Now we have a chance to explore how to drive this car without having to negotiate some other cars. Putting a wheel on the grass isn't the way. Got a jag off at the chicane. And a freebie. Slipped to 18th. That's okay. Now we haven't got any other cars in the way, it's a guessing game of where the braking points are. Not the easiest of tracks to gauge braking points actually as well, because there's not really much in the way of markers to be looking out for. So you can have to do it by feel a lot of the time. So we'll get the fight back on and see what we can do. Ahead of us here. It hasn't got 5 gears. I know you want to rev to want to rev it off its rev limiter, but you can't make up a gear just because it's needing one. It's another little alpha ahead of us here. Cars in pit lane there. Right, so let's have a bit of an Alpha Cortina battle going on here. Slamming on the brakes when you're not wanting to or expecting to. Not always an easy task to try and deal with. There we go. Cleared him. So the St Mary's Trophy actually alternates every other year. Every year it alternates, but so you'll have setups like this with the Cortinas, the Mustangs, the Minis, etc. And then the following year it'll change to Austin A40s and Mark 7 Jags, all that kind of stuff. So alternates every year. So if you want to go and watch these particular cars at Goodwood, you have to make sure you're going on the right year so you catch them. But it's good that they seem to have included the Minis as a permanent fixture now. So we're catching this other little Alpha in front of us. Fourth, I can't go any further up. Problem with the Formula rim, obviously, being you can't be waving it around too much with oversteer. Sometimes you get a little bit lost with where you are. So you're going to try and keep things under control as much as possible, otherwise you just big trouble. So another spot gain, another car ahead of us. The other thing with the Cortina and the Alpha as well is live rear axles, so makes the rear end normally pretty lively. But the Cortina does suffer occasionally with a bit of understeer issues, but you just have to kind of coax it through the corner by applying a little bit of right foot just to rotate the rear end around a little bit. It's better. Bit of a weight shift going into the left-hander there. Got the car rotated nicely. That's another place checked off. One more lap to go though. A car ahead of us, maybe we might be able to catch. It's better-ish. That's how to drive the Cortina better. It's a shame we've taken us 8 laps to get to that stage. Oh no, we've got 2 laps to go because lap time was counting earlier. It's all about the weight transfer of this thing. It's got to throw it around a little bit. And that means it's all about timing as well. This is when you throw the car into the corner. Depends on what apex you clip or don't clip. Now we're cooking. All of a sudden we're setting some purple sectors as well. He's on his final lap already, so I'm not going to be anywhere near him, but it's been fun to drive this little Cortina anyway. Let's see if we can get one more spot here. Just sliding off the wall. Got to use everything to your advantage, even if it is a rather solid wall. It's a shame there aren't any big Ford Galaxies in Assetto Corsa, because that's always the fun comparison between the big Galaxy and the little Mini. Gearbox death incoming, huh? No, we'll be fine. Not quite going to make this Mini, I don't think. As we're right in this case going into the last chicane. Getting close. Timing right that time. So we ended up 15th overall. Thanks to the Racer's Arms. Yes, you know, you gotta get dressed for the occasion. It's Goodwood. Well, that was an eventful one, wasn't it? We were doing okay, and then we drove back, and then we fought our way back through again. So yeah, good fun. Right. Well, I know I said that was the last one, but I reckon we could can squeeze one more in. What do you reckon? Add a bit of jazz. Right. How about we end with a bit of madness? Usually the very fastest race of the weekend belongs to that of the Whitson Trophy, which is what we're going to run now. And this usually is the domain of prototype type cars. Capacity grids usually contain the likes of Lola T70, Spiders, Ford GT40s, Cobra Monaco, Tin Cobras, as well as McLaren M1s. So we're going to jump in. We're going to jump in the GT40 for this one, because who doesn't look at GT40? We'll go with an iconic Golf livery as well. Now I suspect the GT40 is probably going to be horrifically outpaced in this one, purely because the T70s and the McLarens are going to be rather quick, I think. But that won't stop us. It's Goodwood. We just drive what we drive and enjoy it. So let's do this. Let's finish with a mad race here at Goodwood with the quickest cars that have raced in period around here. It's a very smooth broadcast this evening. I should put on my smooth voice. That's the great thing about the revival. It's all about keeping things in period as much as possible, and celebrating some of that era of motorsport, which has produced some of the most finest pieces of engineering. So, one of those being the beautiful Ford GT40 with the chop your head off doors if you're too tall. So we're starting from the back of the grid. We have probably no chance of catching some of the guys at the front, but we have got some other GT40s to play with, so hopefully we can have a good wrestle with them. So here we go. Cobra Monaco is in front of us. And once again, everyone has a bit of a slow takeaway off the line, which we'll use to our advantage. And you know what we've done, or not done, is add any fuel, so I suspect we might be running out. GT40 to our left, we managed to get a jump on one of the T70 Spiders. Yep, fuel. It's a bit late now. Ooh, slow down. Slow down. These are very expensive race cars, and I don't particularly want to damage them. The inside of the outside, shall I say, of that other GT40. We've gone too deep into the Lavant right-hander. Right, let's use this opportunity to make amends for our errors and go check our fuel, because I don't think 30 is going to be enough with our big V8. Right, let's try that again. They were fine piece of engineering, yes, until I got behind the wheel. Right. Come on, everybody. Just a delayed start, that's all. Getting put off by all the other V8 sounds around me, thinking I actually need to change gear when I don't. These Cooper Monacos are quite loud. All these cars so close together on track, I'm expecting some absolute carnage into the chicane. Maybe even earlier. T70 stuck in the middle of all of us. Was the outright record holder at one point around here, the T70, and then they did the Speed Week and they had some other more modern machinery take that honour, but in racing spec anyway, the T70 Spider is the quickest thing around here. Should be a little bit more controlled through the corners now, because this thing should be a little bit more precise. Oh, we've got flying cuts. Well, that's safe. Right. Well, that's 2 down. Yeah, I'm not surprised they've retired, to be honest. Don't want to clip that curb too often. That one. So we seem to be having issues with our gearing all night long, so some of them are too short, and this one seems to be geared for Le Mans because we're not really getting up to 5th gear at all. GT40 with its big long dashboard looks so cool. All the gauges pointing at you. Okay. We're starting to get a little bit more of a handle on things now, hopefully. We are dropping back, so we have to see if we can catch up with the other GT40s. Saved it. Saved it. This is why I'm wearing a cap, because it's busy soaking up the sweat off my brow. Definitely a clench moment, as is this. Hello, marshals. Just going to introduce myself to your tire barrier. There we go. Crunch. Luckily, in Assetto Corsa land, they build GT40s quite tough. So we can attempt to salvage something from this, if we can even find the track again. Gotta remember that braking technology wasn't exactly spectacular, even if the cars were. Alright. That's again sideways into turn 1, and we're off. I think we're done. We're miles off the back now. Oh dear me, my shoulders are killing me now. Let's try that again. We'll do a short five lap race this time around, and we'll change up for something else in that class just to give it a go. We're actually going to try, because obviously we can control the GT40 no problem, so that's why we're going to go off and jump into a T70 Spider. So we're going to do 5 laps, and Let's see if we can survive, just for fun. I'd very much rather be in that Jag right now rather than this thing, but we'll see what happens. GT40s and Goodwoods, yeah, it just seems too tight, doesn't it? Too small for the car. Right, here we go. Lola T70, big 5-litre Chevy V8. Avoid the car park. Didn't check fuel, but we've only got 5 laps to run this time, so it's not so bad. Try and ease ourselves in on this first lap. GT40 on my left, ooh, got a T70 up on my right. Okay, on the throttle, right, now we can unleash it. Nowhere to go, big GT40 in front of us. GT40s are right ahead now as well. Try and work our way through here. Hopefully they don't trip over each other. Leave it for third for turn 1. Clearing these GT40s, but I suspect, looking at where we're positioned in the race, that McLarens have just cleared off. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Ease back on everything, don't make any rash throttle stabs. Right, we're good. T70 to play with. Now this back straight, because it isn't actually straight, it's very easy to get tangled up with other cars, as we found out already this evening. It's also easy to miss the last corner. Oh no, cars everywhere. Oh, we got more death. They really don't like that chicane, do they? You put that there. Wasn't there in period? Oh, it was. The later end of its operational life. Used to just be a straight out blast from from Woodcote Corner all the way over the start finish line, so it used to be a fast lap. No. We're broken. We're broken. Can't even survive 5 laps. So, credit to the guys who can drive low T70s at full throttle all the time. But, yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed Goodwood Revival for us, hasn't it, really? We've had some reasonable races and some not so reasonable ones, but nevertheless, it's been good fun to try and replicate some of the action found at Goodwood. So I hope you've enjoyed the stream this evening. If it's caused you to smile, even if it's just for the fact that I'm dressed up here in a shirt and tie and a flat cap while sim racing, and then please do hit the thumbs up button below, because we'd really appreciate that. It's something a bit different this evening. It's been a challenge at times, but it's been good fun. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and we will see you next time very soon. We'll be hopefully releasing some more videos. We've got some more content hopefully being released in the very near future, which we'll be doing some features on. But yeah, until next time, we will see you very soon, and have a great week. Until next Saturday, take care. Bye bye for now.